Hey y'all, it's Amanda with Tap Mom and the Bake Brigade. I apologize for no devotion yesterday. I've been dealing with a migraine. Well, I would say migraine. It's more like a pressure headache. I get when the weather has dramatic changes. Sometimes I take a medication for this, but it doesn't always work. But I've had what I call the 3-day headache. And I'm just now today having a little bit of relief. It's still kind of there, but it's a little bit of relief from it, and it just steals my life when I get them, because I can't really do much of anything but just sit around and try to get rid of it. Lay in the bed with a cold cloth on my head, that kind of thing. It just really just steals things from me. So I appreciate you, those of you that have probably been praying for me, and I appreciate that. And I continue to pray for those of you that I know need prayer. And those of you that maybe haven't asked for prayer, I pray for you also. But this is our devotional mornings with Jesus, or afternoons as it turns out. I'm going to try to do some pre-records today for the rest of today and tomorrow and next week, so that maybe we can not have this problem this coming week. But those of you that are new, welcome to the channel. I'm normally not so subdued. I have a bigger personality than this. I'm still kind of recovering from these headaches, and they're not quite, one is trying to get me again. I just took some medication and hoping that it'll fade away as well. But anyway, our devotions start with a Bible verse, and then our inspirational story, and then a faith step, in case you're new. So I'm going to get on with it here, okay? For we are God's masterpiece. He has created us anew in Christ Jesus, so we can do the things... let me try that again. For we are God's masterpiece. He has created us anew in Christ Jesus, so we can do the good things He planned for us long ago. Ephesians 2:10. Now for the inspirational story. This afternoon I chose to take advantage of the beautiful spring weather. I grabbed a glass of iced tea and claimed a favorite spot in the backyard to relax. I sprawled across the Chase Lounge, the air soft and sweet. I closed my eyes and lay there for several minutes, surrounded by spring's fresh scents, with sunshine caressing my face. The everyday sounds of my neighborhood, children playing, dogs announcing the postal carrier's arrival, a bee buzzing past en route to a flower, hummed in the background. When I opened my eyes, feathery clouds cast lines across the sky. I laughed, refreshed and eager to take on the rest of the afternoon. Every day is a gift, and I had been blessed to witness this simple perfection in the making, a masterpiece available to any who might notice, and I had. But there was more to take in. Like all believers, I'm a part of this holy masterpiece, made new in Jesus. As I looked at the hours ahead, I scrutinized them with an artist's eye. How could I make my time worthy of the day and honor Jesus? Where could I add my own brushstrokes to further define this piece of art, our world? I re-entered my home with my eyes, ears, and heart open to the beautiful possibilities. Like the bee, I'm ready for the good He has planned for me. Heidi Gall. Faith step. Take a few minutes today to slow down and notice the subtle beauty going on all around you. Take Jesus for this beautiful gift. In other words, stop and smell the roses. And Jane over at Scraptastic Yarns, she's added, since the unfortunate passing of her beloved husband, she's added to her closing to, stop and try to notice what the Creator has made for us in this world. Try to find something beautiful in the world, basically, which I think is wonderful. And she recently, in one of her videos, had the most beautiful testimony about once when she had a medical procedure and died on the table, and in the process of being resuscitated, she went to I guess that in between here in heaven, and heard God's voice and saw her passed on loved ones, and and she was in a beautiful, better place, and didn't want to leave, and but and she was told it wasn't her time to be there, and that's what brought her to God in the first place, because she wasn't worshiping God at the time, and I just thought that was the most beautiful, beautiful testimony and beautiful way of coming to becoming a Christian that I had ever heard, and it really brought something to my attention that maybe it gets lost on people, because Jane was saying how she had been a pagan, that she had, up to that point she had been the goddess of this, the goddess of that kind of, religion type deal, and all my life it just been drilled into our heads here in the South and in Baptist preaching and everything, that if you're not saved, you're not going to heaven, and blah 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 blah. Well, look, she wasn't even a Christian at the time, or at least she wasn't going to regular churches and worshiping God at the time, but there she was in the midst of dying, and she woke up in heaven, or at least what appeared to be heaven. So who are these people that tell us that just because you don't go to church and you don't believe what they believe, you won't make it to heaven? Who are they to say? They don't have the final word. God has the final word. God saw Jane for Jane and how wonderful a person she was, and he decided that if she was to go right then and there, that she would go to heaven. So don't listen to other people's opinion. God's opinion is the only one that matters. And God had decided that if she was to go, that's where she was to go, because of Jane and not because of anybody else's. And she decided then and there, when she was brought back by the medical team, and because God decided it was not her time to go, that she would change her life and go to church and worship God and be a Christian. Well, that was her decision, because that's the experience she had, and it served her well, and that's her. That was beautiful to me. And I choose not to go to churches, and I know that God has done wonderful things in my life. So think about that. Don't, I have been judged in my lifetime by so many well-meaning people, well-meaning Christian people, that I just don't hang out with those people. I don't surround myself with those type people. If I even get a whiff that someone is judgmental in any way, I just remove myself from them, their orbit. I don't have anything to do with those type people, because that's not the type of people you need to be surrounding yourself with. I don't judge people for anything. That's not my place. My place is not to judge anybody. Now, do I make comments about things I see on the news, or comments about stuff I see in certain videos? To myself, I do. Of course I do. I'm human. I make mistakes, and I say stuff that I shouldn't say. But do I say it to the person? Do I say it where other people can hear me? Absolutely not. I keep that stuff to myself, as it should be. So think about that as you go about your daily life. These are just my opinions, and like anything else, you can ignore them. But if you need prayer, don't hesitate to leave me a message. I thank you for those of you that have been praying for me, and I love you all, and God bless you, and I will see y'all on the next video. Bye.